Hey there, this is K4A, Knowledge for All, educational videos channel. We are continuing with learning Scratch, we are continuing with making Scratch tutorials, learning Scratch blocks, and in this video today we are going to learn Scratch block which is named Mouse Y. If you have watched our previous video, you have learned what Mouse X is for. It's Scratch block which represents position of your mouse X coordinate on screen. Now it's minus 240 because we are not on the stage, we are not on the screen with our mouse. Same with mouse Y, it will be minus 180 because we are not on the screen, and we will change that soon, but more or less it's same. This Scratch block mouse Y will act more or less same as mouse X, only it will represent Y coordinate. If you have chosen a backdrop which says X and Y grid, you can choose it from this. Choose a backdrop from Scratch backdrop library to see it in background, and I have it here on in my game as I think it's 5th or 6th level. I will maybe even more. 3, 4, 5, 6. So okay, so just to show you that Y coordinate is this blue one. It will represent, it goes from top to bottom or from bottom to top. 0 is in the middle, the top limit is 180, the bottom limit is minus 180, and Y will represent, this mouse Y can go between minus 180 and 180. I'm going to use it today again in some kind of simple game. In previous video we have made some kind of star rotation which was triggered by mouse X, and now I'm going to use mouse Y for something else. Let me just think what. Yeah, maybe I will show this mouse character which I have I will show it just on the screen. When backdrop switches to level 6, I want this mouse to show. And I will make now some kind of game where if my mouse is here in this area, the mouse will say you are in top left quadrant. If my mouse is here, the mouse will say you are in top right quadrant, bottom right and bottom left. When I say quadrant, I mean this area here, this square area, button square. Okay, so how to do it? Let me see. I will need this two new blocks, mouse X and mouse Y. I will need lots of them. I will copy them, duplicate them. What else? I need some kind of operators to define where my mouse X is and my mouse Y. And I will need this. I will need forever because I need Scratch to check those conditions forever. And I will need if or if else. Okay, so what do I want to do here? I want to make some kind of game. It won't be a game, it will be some kind of interactive interaction, so which which will do this when I'm here, which means if my mouse x is less than 0, okay, from this 0 less than 0, and my y is greater than 0, so that is here. I want my character, I want the mouse character to say you are in top left square. Okay. But I have the problem here, I can only put this one condition here, right? Okay, if you have followed our previous lesson, you know that we can use this AND operator blocks to put more than one condition, and we can combine this. And when will this AND block say true? It will say true only if this first condition is true and this second condition is true. So only and only if both of those two conditions are true, this complete combination will say true. Okay, that was for the first one. I need four of those. I will duplicate those. I will duplicate them 4 times, and now I need to define second one. Okay, for the second one we have said it will be top right. Okay, and when will it happen? It will happen when my x is coordinate is greater than 0. I don't care if it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 55, 75, as long as it is greater than 0. So mouse x is greater than 0. I will put it here. Mouse x greater than 0, and my y is also greater than 0, so I need this one again. Okay, so mouse x greater than 0 here, mouse y greater here. So when you combine those two, you get this. I will show you later just with drawing some simple example if you're confused, but for now on you have to trust me. That was top right. Okay, let's see. The next one is bottom right. You are in bottom right, right square. Okay, bottom right is here where now the cat is. So what do I have to check here? X is greater than 0. So I'll copy this one. And y is less than 0. So I will switch this one. Okay. Cool. And the last one. This is the bottom left. Now the x is less than 0. Okay, that's cool. And the y is less than 0. I think I got them all right. I'm not sure. Maybe we will have some kind of bug, but we will fix that. Okay, I don't need this one. Let me delete it. And I need to put this into forever block. Why? Because I want to check that all the time. As long as I'm playing, if my mouse cursor is here, mouse will say top left, here top right, here bottom right, here bottom left, and I can change them as fast as I want. Okay, for 2 seconds. Okay, let's start the game to see if it works. mouse is here, and he said you're in bottom right. You see my mouse cursor is in bottom right square. Let me see here. Top right, bottom right, top right, top left, bottom left. So you see how fast and fun it can be to combine new Scratch blocks, to experiment with them. Top right, top left, bottom right, left, bottom right. So it works perfectly. Anyway, what I wanted to say, yeah, you saw how we can combine these two, mouse X and mouse Y, and combine them with this AND block and these greater than or less than operators and so on. So you can see how fast you can make some kind of complex interactions and animations and conditions and checks for Scratch to check some kind of condition, so you can make some kind of game like that. For example, if you don't have to make a game this simple as I did here, I did it just for example purpose, but if you can imagine how instead of this mouse here we had, for example, like some kind of spaceship, and this was this X and Y coordinate system was X and Y coordinate system in some space, in some universe, and you have some kind of enemies coming from your top left. So your spaceship says, hey, we have enemies on our top left square on our radar, go there, or something like that, real-time strategy and so on. So you can use it any way you want, and you can make it complex very fast. That was just one simple example how to use mouse X and mouse Y. We will show in next videos how to use it more, and we will use it for sure in some kind of full game tutorials later, more complex games and so on. But I think for this video it's more than enough. One thing which I left you maybe confused is I will click now on this stage to select stage backdrops, then on top left on the backdrops I have selected now at level 6 X and Y grid. I will duplicate it because I will ruin it by drawing on it, and I will click on this. So what I wanted to show you here is if you're still confused with X and Y, if you don't have if you're not going in the school or something like that, if you're too young for it and you didn't learn about X and Y, the simplest way is to understand this, how this coordinate system works, is to draw some kind of spot here, for example in here. No, sorry, I will show it even better. I need the eraser. Where is the eraser? Here. Cool, I have erased the background too. What I want to show you is this. If you draw spot here, and for example you want to say, how can I know what my X and Y coordinates are of this spot, of this point? Just draw to the left and to the right and to the top and to the bottom, and wherever that left and right crosses the Y and wherever it crosses the X, you just read coordinates. So this point has 100 for X and 100 for Y. I have picked it here because we have on this background the Scratch programmers have just drawn -100, -200, 100, 200 and so on, because they didn't have too much space. But for example, if this is -100, then this here is -50. So you just have to be aware of that. And this is 50. So this spot here will have coordinates -50 and 50. And as I said, you don't have to go on those full whole numbers. If this is minus 50, this is 25, this is 10, this is 1, and so on. I hope this is a little bit clearer now. You can always check it here on your stage here, but by using this new Scratch block which we have just learned to read those coordinates. I will show that again in some kind of another game or example, but for this video today this is more than enough, and that's it. I hope you have learned something new. Keep on learning, keep on scratching, keep on sharing your knowledge and ideas with others, and that's it. Bye for now.